Global War 36 enthusiast here with Operation GoldenEye, turn 6.1, Germany. It is January 1939. So the first thing that happens in January 1939 is Japan aligns Siam. So that's worth 1 IPP for Japan. They get a militia. And then in C-Zone 88, they get a destroyer and a torpedo boat destroyer. That goes in here. Okay, let's talk about techs. Germany is going to be trying for, they have 5 tech roles: advanced artillery, heavy armor, heavy bombers, long-range aircraft, and attack transports. So for advanced artillery, they succeeded with a 7. For heavy armor, they failed with a 6. For heavy bombers, they failed with a 4. For long-range aircraft, they failed with a 3. And for attack transports, they succeeded with a 7. I didn't really need to succeed with attack transports. You can let me know in the comments below what tech would you have rolled for as your 5th tech there. Purchases. Germany has 25 IPPs to spend. They'll purchase 3 infantry for 9, 5 cavalry for 15, that's 24, and they'll save 1 IPP. They also get 1 free blue division that I'll put over here to the side as a reminder to myself from winning the Spanish Civil War. Okay, combat movement. Let's zoom out a little bit here. There's going to be a lot of activity this turn. Germany is going to declare war on Great Britain. So Great Britain is going to go to wartime economy of 25. And ANZAC is going to go to wartime economy of 7. And FEC is going to go to wartime economy of 14. Germany declares war on Poland. So let's see if I've got Poland. Yep, that's on camera there. Okay, so I'll replace this militia that's in Lubelski with British militia, put on this British rondel, because I'm not going to be going into that territory, and then I'll replace Eastern Poland with a British rondel. Notice that that's worth 1 IPP, so Britain's going to go up to 26 IPP with that Polish territory. Germany's going to declare war on Belgium. Let's make sure Belgium's on camera. Yeah, oh yeah, sure it is. But off camera, it's hard for me to show you, is Belgian Congo, which has a militia. I'm going to replace that with a British militia and put the British rondel in Belgian Congo. That's worth 1 IPP as well. So Great Britain goes up to 27. This activity on the income tracker is the reason why it's generally advised against attacking this early, because you're giving the Allies an economic advantage by giving them these IPPs early like this. France is only worth 10 IPP. Well, just Britain alone I pushed from 16 up to 27. I also pushed up ANZAC. I also pushed up FEC. So you can see that this isn't going to be worth it economically. It's just, if you see an opportunity and you think you could strike early, it gives you an extra turn of tempo, and it also might save you some money. If I felt that the 9 militia in Paris wasn't as strong as it probably would be next turn. All right, Germany declares war on France. So France goes to the wartime economy of 18. This isn't really important because I think it's really very likely that France is going to fall this turn. But we'll just, for thoroughness, we'll do that. Okay, let's do combat movement. 7 infantry are going to move, and 1 anti-aircraft artillery, and 2 fighters are going to move from Slovakia. Everything in Slovakia is going to move into Dolnoslaski. How do you pronounce that? Dolnoslaski. 3 infantry and 2 artillery here in eastern Germany are going to move into West Poland. That's 3 infantry, 2 artillery. 1 fighter, 1 tactical bomber, and 1 medium bomber. These units are all going to fly to West Poland. So they have 5 range of 5. This guy actually has a longer range, but 1, 2. I will have 3 more to fly back from that. 1 cavalry and 2 light armor are going to move into Belgium from eastern Germany. From Bavaria, 5 cavalry are going to move into Belgium, so that gives me 6 cavalry in Belgium. From Western Germany, I'm going to move 5 infantry, 5 medium armor, and 5 self-propelled armor into Belgium. From Bavaria, this air transport is going to go 1, 2, 3 and drop an airborne infantry in Picardy. It'll have a range of 3 left. So you can see that all my aircraft have a range of 3 left. The ones that started in Slovakia went up 1. They don't have an air base. Actually, this guy has more than 3, but whatever. I have 3 or more with my air units to land. And I think that is it for the combat movement on the ground. Now let's talk about my subs. I think I need to get that on camera. Okay, so 2 of these subs are going to move from C-Zone 48 up to C-Zone 23. 1 will move from 48 up to 32. 1 will move from 48 down to 79. Okay, that's the disposition of my subs. And I think that concludes my first set of combat movements. Let's go to the combat phase. Check out the naval units up there. You can see the German Navy is in C-Zone 15. It's going to be attacking that Polish torpedo boat destroyer in C-Zone 15. That's my first combat. I think I maybe could zoom in a little bit, but I do want to have the battle boards viewable for you guys. That's pretty good. Okay. So, let's do that naval combat first. In C-Zone 15, I have 1 coastal submarine at 2. It's a first strike versus this torpedo boat destroyer. I could just take him out and won't even get a response if I hit. Nope. Okay, I missed. And now I've got a coastal defense ship at 6. Miss. That's a bummer because I needed that high damage there. I've got 1 light cruiser at 5. Miss. I hope I'm getting my bad luck out of the way early here. 1 destroyer at a 4. Miss. I have 2 torpedo boat destroyers at 2. Okay, I got a hit, finally. And then he has 1 torpedo boat destroyer returning fire. Okay, the Polish torpedo boat destroyer, after a long battle, is destroyed in C-Zone 15. All right, now we're going to do the attack at Donoslaski. I have 7 infantry at 2 and 2 fighters at 6. versus his 2 infantry at 4. So let me kind of explain here. If you think about the front part of this battle board, it's these 7 infantry and these 2 fighters versus these 2 infantry. This group back here is the West Poland group. Okay, so I have 7 at 2. These are my infantry. Am I missing a 7th die, or do I only have 6? I thought I put out 7, but must have failed to properly set up. Okay, 7 at 2. Shoot, no hits. All right, and then 2 at 6. I would say that is not cocked. It's a little bit up, but I mean, that's a 5. So I got 2 hits, and that will be all I need in that particular place. He has 2 at 4. And he gets a hit. Okay, so I have 6 infantry left there in taking that territory. So that is worth nothing. All right. Now we'll do the attack in West Poland. I have 2 first strike artillery at 3. Miss. Then I have 1 infantry that's attacking at 2. It's not boosted by the artillery. I have 3 artillery here. I mean, I have 3 infantry here, but this is the guy that's at 2 that's not boosted by the artillery. He misses. And then I have 2 infantry that are boosted at 3 by the artillery. Miss. And then I've got my aircraft. So I've got 1 at 6. This is my fighter. Miss. And then I've got 1 tactical bomber. This one has target selection on 1, 2, or 3. And I do get target selection, so I'm going to pick an infantry. And then I've got the 1 medium bomber that does not have target selection. Hit. Okay, that'll be the cavalry that he takes. All right, now he gets to defend with 1 at 2. This is his cavalry. Miss. And he has 2 at 3. These are his... No, he has 3 at 4 is what I mean. He has 3 at 4 with his infantry. 2 hits. Okay. So, I am down to 1 infantry, 2 artillery. Although, maybe I will take an artillery. No, I'll take the infantry. Okay, so I've got 1 infantry, 2 artillery, and then the 3 aircraft versus his 2 infantry. So I've got 3 at 3. Oops, let's get these guys out of the way. 2 hits. That's all I needed. Okay, he has 2 at 4. Miss. Okay, so I do take West Poland with the 1 infantry and 2 artillery. And that is worth 1 for Germany. So they will go up 1 IPP to 25. Let's see here. Now I think we can look at Belgium. I'm going to pull this off to the side here. So we're ready for to switch it with another card. Get this out of the way. All right, now we're switching over to Belgium and Picardy. let's start off with the Belgium attack. So before I go, I just want to make sure the camera's still focused. I'm paranoid that it has moved. Okay, no. Okay, so in the attack on Belgium, I have 5 first strike artillery, my self-propelled artillery at 3. 2 hits. And then I have, let's do the 5 medium armor at 6. Three more. Okay, so he gets 2 retaliatory shots at 4 with his 2 infantry. Miss, okay. So Belgium is worth 2. I took it without any casualties. That will put Germany up to 27. Now I'm tied with Britain. I'm going to blitz from Belgium. Here, I should move the camera over so you can see what I'm going to do here. Now that I have taken Belgium, I needed to take that in 2 rounds or less to be able to blitz. I can blitz from Belgium into Picardy. I did drop off 1 airborne there, and now I'm going to bring in 5 medium armor and 5 self-propelled artillery for this attack here on Picardy, which has 2 infantry. So you can see I've got the 2 French blue infantry, and I have this airborne that is going to be involved, but it's these guys on the back row now. These guys are not involved. They're still in Belgium versus these 2 infantry over here. So I have 5 self-propelled artillery at 3. These are first strikes. 2 hits, that's all I needed. Okay, so I take Picardy, which is worth 1. Germany goes up to 27, France goes down to 17. Let's see, I think we are done with land combat. Now we do our convoy raiding. So in C-Zone 23, I have 2 submarines that are convoy raiding the West Atlantic line. Here's the first one. I get a +2. The red is the attacker for all of these. Okay, well, that's going to do it. That right there is enough damage. 5 is the max I can do. So Britain right now has 17. They will drop to 12 IPP. Next, we're going to do the convoy raiding in C-Zone 32. This is on the East Atlantic line, which is worth 6. I could do a maximum of 6 damage here. So in C-Zone 32, red is the attacker. I add 2 to the red, so I have 5, so I've done 1 point of damage there, and that will drop Great Britain down to 11. Then I have a sub that's in C-Zone 48, and it's convoy raiding. So red is the attacker, get a +2. And so I do 5 minus 1, 4. So I do 4 more points of damage to Great Britain. And that drops them down to 7. They had 11, now they're down to 7. And now the last sub is going to convoy raid the West African line. It's in C-Zone 79. It's going to choose to convoy raid the West African line. Add 2. Red is the attacker. Okay, so I have a 5 minus 1 is 4. So poor Great Britain is knocked down to 3 IPP. You can see the devastating impact of convoy raiding. And I did get lucky, but off to a good start there in kind of suffocating Britain. Pleased with how that went. Non-combat movement. Let's zoom the camera out. I'm going to move my planes about here. Two fighters from, oh gosh, I'm just massacring these names, I'm sure. Dolnoslaski are going to fly back to Bavaria. So I had a range of 3 with those guys. They can definitely make it from there. They can go 1-2 and get back to Bavaria. This air transport that was dropping in Picardy is going to fly back to West Germany. Then I had 3 aircraft that were in West Poland, and 1 fighter from West Poland is going to fly back to West Germany. These, the tactical bomber and the medium bomber, are going to fly down to Bavaria. All right. Now I'm going to employ Germany's special ability, Lightning Warfare, once per game, and prior to January 1941, all German land and air units may make an additional sequence of combat moves, including blitz and non-combat. So let's do some more land combat movement. The infantry that are down here in Dolnoslaski are going to move up into Warsaw, and the anti-aircraft gun is going to move up there as well. So I didn't have the anti-aircraft gun in the first round of combat because there's no aircraft, but there is going to be a fighter there that I could try to hit with my anti-aircraft gun on the first round of combat. So that will be involved in that particular attack. So I'm going to put that on the battle board at a 3. Where did I put it? Oh, it's over here. Yep, okay. We'll move this out of the way. And we'll bring back in these guys. This is the Polish group, but I don't have any aircraft now. No aircraft in this attack. So these are the 6 infantry and 1 anti-aircraft. Oh, you can't even see that, can you? Okay. So you can see I have 6 infantry and 1 anti-aircraft gun that are moving in from Dolnoslaski. Then from West Poland, I'm moving in these units, the infantry and the 2 artillery. They're crossing a river. So this guy will get knocked down to 2. Let me chip out this red chip. Okay. So what I've got is 1 of these infantry is going to get knocked down to 1. 2 of these infantry are going to get boosted up to 3. Chip that out. And then I'll have 4 infantry that are at 2. So 1 at 1, 4 at 2, and then these 4 at 3. Plus I have that anti-aircraft shot to try to hit his fighter. All right. Next I'm going to have one fighter from, let's see if that's on camera, from West Germany is going to go on map into Sea Zone 15. So the one fighter that flew back to West Germany, just going to pop out here and be on map right there. Okay, let's get a little combat air patrol. I don't think we have a map, or at least if someone knows of a map marker, let me know. I think we use, and I can't find one right now, but that guy is on map. I think it's pretty evident. If there's a air unit that ends a turn in a sea zone, you know it has to be on map. One mountain infantry. Let's look over at Alsace-Lorraine. Make sure that's on camera. Certainly is. Okay. So in Alsace-Lorraine, there's the Maginot Line. I'm going to come across here with one mountain infantry that's facing the Maginot, and then all four of these aircraft are going to fly in there as well. Next combat movement is 6 cavalry, 2 light armor are going to move from Belgium to Paris. So I had the 6 infantry and these 2 light armor that are in Belgium. They're going to move into Paris. We already have in Picardy, we have the 5 self-propelled artillery and let's see, these infantry are in Belgium. So we have the 5 self-propelled artillery and the 5 medium armor. They are going to move into Paris as well. So going into Paris, I have 6 cavalry, 5 self-propelled artillery, 5 medium armor, 2 light armor. I also have this 1 airborne infantry is just walking into Paris across the river. So all of those guys are facing the river penalty on the first turn. Let's see, I think that is the end of my secondary combat moves. So let's do the attack on Warsaw. Rotate the camera around. Zoom in a bit. And I think I do have a board already set up with the, nope, I don't. There they are. Okay, 2 at 4, that's the 2 infantry at 4. He's got 1 at 2 with his cavalry, and then he's got 1 at 6, that fighter. Okay, I have 1 at 1 with my infantry that is not boosted going across the river from West Poland. Miss. Then I have the 4 at 2, my unboosted infantry coming from the south. They're not facing a river penalty. And I got 1 hit with them. Okay, so that's going to be the cavalry. I should have done my first strike with my 2 artillery. So I'm going to do the 2 artillery first strike. Miss. Okay, I've got the 2 infantry boosted. Miss. And then I've got 3 at 3 for the anti-aircraft gun against that fighter. Ha! Alright, so I did hit his fighter. Now let's do his counterattack. He has 1 at 2 with his cavalry. That's a miss. He has 2 at 4 with his 2 infantry. That's a hit. And he has 1 at 6 with his fighter. That's a miss. So he has 2 infantry. Alright, my unboosted infantry got killed. Now let's do this attack here. I've got 4 at 2 with my infantry. 1 hit. And then I've got 4 at 3. That AA gun does nothing now. Only fires on the first round. So 4 at 3. Miss. So he has 2 at 4. Miss. I have 4 at 2, my infantry. Miss. I killed 1 last time. And 4 at 3. Okay, he's more than dead. And he has 1 at 4. Hit. Okay, so I take Warsaw with 5 infantry, 2 artillery, and an anti-aircraft artillery. Let me get that squared away. 5 infantry, 2 artillery, and 1 anti-aircraft artillery are in Warsaw. Warsaw is worth 1 IPP, so Germany goes up 1. Germany is at 29. Paris. Or no, yeah, Paris, that's right. Okay, this battle board goes away. I got that idea of these little panels, both from General Hand Grenade and Hambone. I think Hambone did it first, and then I think either General Hand Grenade saw that, or he had that idea spontaneously on his own as well. But it is a really good idea. So, I have, let's get these guys out of the way and get my Paris troops in. I have that airborne that is at 1 because he's attacking across the river. And I have 6 cavalry that are at 2 because they're attacking across the river. I have 2 light tanks that get knocked down to 3 across the river. The 5 self-propelled artillery are not affected, but they do boost this infantry up to a 2 because he's an infantry class unit. And then I've got 5 at 5 with the medium armor across the river. Everything is going to shift up 1 except for the artillery won't after the first round. Okay, the militia here are defending at 3 because he's in the city, and they get target selection versus vehicles, which would mean a medium armor. He could hit the medium armor for any of those 1s he rolls with the militia, and he's going to have 9 shots. So I've kind of embraced or accepted that I'll lose 1 medium armor. If I lose more than that, it will be a bummer. So let's do 2. Oh, I guess I should first do my 5 at 3 with my self-propelled artillery first strikes. Be nice to hit one of these, kill off the militia. Cursed myself. Okay, so those were a complete miss. Now I've got 1 infantry and then 6 cavalry. 2, 4, 6, 7 at 2. Oh, God. Not a good time to fail. All right, I've got 2 at 3 with my light armor. I feel like I'm Panzer J, because he's had luck like this in the past too. 5 at 5. 3 hits. Okay. Well, let's see how bad it's going to be. He's got 9 at 3. 2, 4, 6. And these have target selection. 8, 9. 9 at 3. Okay, good. No target selection hits. 1 hit. So I'm going to take this airborne infantry. Okay, that was pretty fortunate. Let's see. He has 1 at 4. Oh, and I talked to Panzer J He wanted to scramble these 2 fighters from southern France. I offered he could scramble to Alsace-Lorraine or Paris. He chose to go to Paris, and he told me take militia first before taking the medium bomber. So now we have the medium bomber defending at a 4. Hit. I'm glad that was the one. I'm taking a cavalry. And then 2 fighters at 6. 2 more hits. Okay, so I feel vindicated. I decided not to bring my air units. That would have been very painful if he hit 2 of my air units there. So I'm going to end up losing more cavalry, and I'm really hurting because I didn't do very many hits to him. I calculated that he would do 3 hits to me, and I would do 5 hits to him. I only did 3 hits to him. All right, so now everything moves up. The armor goes up to 6. The light armor goes up to 4. The 3 cavalry go up to 3. So that means that I've got 3 cavalry plus 5 self-propelled artillery. So that's 8 at 3. 2, 4, 6, 8. And I got 3 hits. Why couldn't I have done that last time? All right. And then I have 2 at 4 for my light armor. Miss. And then I've got 5 at 6 for the heavy, or for the medium armor. 2 hits. Okay, so that time I got 5. Now he has 6 at 1. Again, I'm worried about he's basically got an average. He would average half a hit on my medium armor. Let's see if I can dodge the bullet again. 2, 4, 6, 7. Oh, I need to roll orange dice. He's in a city. 2, 4, 6. Yep. 6 at 3. Target selects at 1. Again, I got lucky. Okay, that was good. So I'm losing more units than I expected, but they're cavalry. So far so good. Not losing any medium armor yet. He'll only have 1 more militia next round at 1. Watch, that's when he'll hit me, Murphy's Law. So here's the 1 at 4 with his medium bomber. Hit, and I lose a cavalry. And here's the 2 at 3. You'd figure he'd get 1 of these. Maybe he'll miss twice, because last time he hit twice. Oh, dang it. Okay, what do I want to lose here? I think I'll lose the medium, or the light armor, I mean. Okay, so that was devastating. He shouldn't have hit that often. He's hit 4 out of 4 with his aircraft, so he's just having phenomenal luck. It's going to end up being just as costly as if he had hit a medium armor. I haven't really... I would not say this attack has been going my way. It's the most important attack of this turn. Alright, he has 1 at 3. Miss. That does count. I did roll for him, but I'm going to roll for me. Now, the attacker usually rolls first. If he had hit, I would have given him the hit. I can't take that back, so he missed. He's going to lose. He's going to suffer the miss. 5 at 3. 2, 4, 5. 2 hits. And then he's got 1 at 4. No. I have 1 at 4. Miss. And I have 5 at 6. 2 hits. Okay, so that's the end for him. He gets his retaliatory thing. Come on, miss. He's got the 1 at 3 with a target select of 1. Miss. He's got 1 at 4, his medium bomber. Miss. I rolled twice for his militia, I realize now. And he has 2 at 3 for his fighters. 1 hit. Okay, so I'll lose the light armor. I take it with 5 medium and 5 self-propelled artillery. France falls. So this attack in Alsace-Lorraine does not happen because France, upon me taking Paris, France immediately surrenders. And I can choose the creation of Vichy France, which I do. And when you do the creation of Vichy France, the first thing that happens is all the French units that are in France are eliminated. There's 5 guys here in Belgium. Okay, so in Paris, there are 5 medium armor and 5 self-propelled armor. In Picardy, there's nothing. In Alsace-Lorraine, there's a mountain infantry. And that means that I'm capturing 7 more IPP with Germany. I think I already counted the Picardy. So 3, 4, wait, is that 6 more? Oh, this one's worth 3, right? 3, 3, 6, 8 more. Yep, so I collect 8 more with Germany. It goes up to 37. France goes away. Vichy France is created with 1 IPP for southern France. And I'll open this box. I get Corsica upon the creation of Vichy France. And I have infantry and artillery and a fighter in southern France. I'm going to double check that because I'm not sure exactly if that's right. So I'm just going to look up, let's see, in southern France, 3 infantry. Okay, so 3 infantry, a fighter, and an artillery are in southern France. I had a feeling that wasn't right when I saw there was only 1 infantry in there. Okay. All right, we've got some more Vichy creation things to do. So let's look at way over here in the Pacific. We've got some territories to be disposed of. The way it works is you roll a 12-sided die. On a 1 to 6, it goes Vichy. On a 7 to 12, these particular territories go Japanese. So the first roll for the 4 territories here in the Pacific is an 8. And so, because these rolls are so important, I decided to do them by PPE. So these go Japanese. These 4. Gambier Islands, New Caledonia, Anam Tonkin is worth 1. And Cochin China is also worth 1. So that means that Japan goes up 2. They are up to 33. Trying to help you out, my ally. We'll see what we can do as far as rules for those subs and other ships. See if I can do as well for you there. Okay. Next, we'll swing over here to French Madagascar. These are the tough areas for me to show. Oh yeah, that's great. Okay. You can see I replaced Belgian Congo. This is the way to go, kind of at an angle like that. I've got French Somaliland, Madagascar, and Reunion. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing that correctly. And the roll is a 3. So this goes Free French. Whoops, I'm doing Vichy in it. Wait, did I roll incorrectly? I rolled an 8. I think 8 is. I reversed it. In my brain I messed that up. Okay, I have to go back. So in the Pacific, sorry, Boss and Bruce, you don't get those territories. An 8 was rolled. So these are Free French. New Caledonia, Gambier Islands, Anam Tonkin, and Cochin China. All are Free French, which means that Free France has 2 IPP. Wishful thinking that I converted that to Japan. So Japan's going to go down 2, and Free France is on the board with 2. Okay. So that means that what I just ruled for here in Reunion and Madagascar and then French Somaliland, that went to the Vichy, and that gives the Vichy 1 IPP. So we'll bump up Vichy France from 1 to 2. They're tied with the Free French. Let's look at the next group of territories, which is French Guiana and St. Pierre. That's over here in the Caribbean. Let's see what happens over there. Low is good for Vichy, high is good, it's high. It's a 7, so that means that it too goes Free France. It's not worth any IPP. Okay. Next, let's pull this one up. The next grouping of territories is Algeria. So, let's pull over here. Oh yeah, we can totally see that. Zoom in a little bit and let's see what happens in Algeria. It's an 8, so that goes Free French, which I think is pretty good territory. If you're the Free French, you really want this one. It's worth 1. So Free France pulls into the lead with 3 IPP. The next cluster of territories are down here in Africa, Mauritania, French Guinea, French Sudan, and the Ivory Coast. And the roll is a 2, which is Vichy. I don't think any of these territories are worth anything. So I think that's right. I don't think these guys are worth anything. Yep. Rats. Okay. The next grouping of territories is Dahomey, Niger, Chad, Cameroon, and Ubangi Chari. Low is going to go Vichy, high is going to go Free French. And the roll for those is a 2. So these guys go Vichy. And they are worth 1. So Vichy and Free France are tied. Seems to be somewhat even distribution, just off the top of my head. I haven't kept careful track. Would have liked the Japan ones. I think that's helpful to my ally. Okay. Then we're going to do Tunisia. And it is a 12. So that means Tunisia is Free French, and that is worth 1. So they have 4, and the Vichy have 3. And Panzer J, at this point in time, or after we do Morocco, you should declare where you want your capital to be. Morocco is a 9, also Free French. So I think it's pretty clear that this was Free France's, to Free France benefit. They did better. They ended up with 5. Vichy ended up with 3. Japanese ones went to Free French. So it's interesting. The south of Africa is clearly in the hands of Vichy, but the north of Africa is clearly Free French. So that's the disposition of the territories. So now we're going to do the ships. distributing the ships. On a 1, 2, or 3, it joins the Allies and becomes Free French. On a 4 to 6, it's scuttled. On a 7 to 10, it's Vichy. And on an 11 to 12, it's Axis. So it's weird. Now you want to roll high as the Axis. So let's first do the submarines that are out here in the Pacific. There's 2 here in Sea Zone 55 and 2 in 54. So I used PPE for this, and the first sub that's in Sea Zone 55 rolled a 12, and a 12 joins the Axis. So this becomes a Japanese submarine. Of course, I didn't have that prepared. Didn't think about replacing it with a Japanese sub. Okay, so that's in Sea Zone 55. And then the second roll for the same sub in the 55 Sea Zone was a 6. And a 6 is scuttled. So this guy goes to the bottom. I think my best outcome is giving a sub to my ally. The next best is, I don't really think, no, I guess I could definitely use it as the Vichy, never mind. Okay, so now we'll do the next set of subs that are here in Sea Zone 54. The first roll for that is a 5, and a 5 is scuttled, and the second roll is a 6. 6 is scuttled. So the French subs, after a long sail out to the distant Pacific, go to the bottom. Okay. Next is, we're going to move over to this Sea Zone 83 right here, these 3 ships. So the battleship in Sea Zone 83, I rolled a 9. And so that becomes Vichy. That's fantastic, okay? I could make use of that. And I can fly under the French flag, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to Sea Zone 49 with that battleship. That's a little bright. It's a nice outcome. Unexpected surprise. All right, let's do... I think I'm going to roll for most of these other ones. I decided I would, for the subs, the battleships, and the transports, I was going to use PBE. The other ones I'm just going to roll the dice for. I hope that's okay with my allies. So we're still there in Sea Zone 83, and there's a destroyer. And we'll roll a d12 and see what we get. The destroyer is a 9, becomes Vichy. Move to Sea Zone 49. Okay. And take that guy off. Then the transport I did do by PPE, thinking that that's pretty important. Let's see what that outcome was. It's a 10 for the naval transport in Sea Zone 83. What is a 10? Joins the Axis. Ooh, free transport for Germany. That's lovely. I can make use of that. So we'll put that in with my Sea Zone 15 fleet. And the next one we are talking about is Sea Zone 53. It's this fleet right here. Battleship, heavy cruiser, 2 destroyers, torpedo boat destroyer, and a transport. So I did do PBE for the battleship, and I got a 6. And 6 is scuttled, removed from the game. Okay. So far, I don't think anything has gone free French. Next is that heavy cruiser. Roll the die and see what happens with this heavy cruiser. A 2, I think. Oh, there you go. That one becomes free French. So we'll put on. Oh, I just leave them there. I think. Or maybe they can move them somewhere. I'm not sure. But this heavy cruiser is free French. Next is there's 2 destroyers that are in the same Sea Zone 53. The first destroyer, 5, which is scuttled. And the second destroyer is a 12, which I think goes to Germany. So another destroyer joins the Axis. So we'll put that destroyer in Sea Zone 15 with the German fleet. Next is the torpedo boat destroyer. 10 becomes Vichy. Okay, so there's a battleship, a destroyer, and a torpedo boat destroyer that are in Sea Zone 49 that compose the Vichy fleet. I'd kind of like to get a transport. Did I already do the transport? Or I did that by PBE. Let's see, the French transport in Sea Zone 53, it's a 3. It's the opposite. It's a Free French transport. So there's the Free French have a nice little useful fleet, and I have not a very useful fleet. Okay. Let's see. Production chart. Okay, so there is a battleship, a French battleship at stage 3 on the production chart. Let's roll to see what happens. On a 1 to 7, it is scuttled. 9. 9 remains Vichy French, so I could choose to develop it as Germany. Let's see, and then the other unit is a heavy cruiser, or maybe it's a light cruiser, I can't see from here. I think it's a heavy cruiser. 12. Again, replace, oh no, this is replaced with a German equivalent. So the Germans could choose to develop a heavy cruiser if they so desire. Oh, it's a light cruiser. Okay, I couldn't tell from so far away. They could choose to develop a light cruiser. It's at stage 2 right now. Giving Germany some options. Okay. I believe that is the end of the... Did I do that right? Yeah, I did that right. Okay. That's the end of the Vichy creation of Vichy. So now we are going to do non-combat movement. All 4 of those planes were over in Bavaria, or were in Alsace-Lorraine. Remember they did that kind of scuttled attack that didn't need to happen because the French resistance just evaporated. So the guys that were in Alsace-Lorraine, 3 of them, the medium bomber, the tactical bomber, and 1 of the fighters will go back and land in Bavaria. So there's 1 fighter that didn't land in Bavaria, and that fighter is going to land in West Germany. So flew 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm going to move 4 of these infantry from Bavaria, there's 5 of them, 4 infantry from Bavaria into Western Germany. So only 1 infantry will remain in Belgium. These 4 chips are infantry. I'm going to be building my place units and add some infantry there as well. Okay, placement of units. I have 3 infantry. I'm going to put those 3 infantry into Western Germany. So Western Germany has 7 infantry. The 5 cavalry are going to go into Bavaria. I've got the Free German division, Blue division from winning the Spanish Civil War. I think I could move this German unit somewhere. I can't rail it into the units I just freshly conquered. I think I will rail it to Slovakia. Okay, now, in the place... No, I'm going to rail it to Austria. That's what I'm going to do. No, I'm going to do Slovakia. I'm so sorry to my opponents that I'm whipsawing you. Okay, now in the place units phase, after the fall of France, Germany can elect to align either Romania, Hungary, or Bulgaria. I'm going to align Hungary. So that's worth 2 IPP. So I'll go up with Germany to 39. Okay. Let's see. Vichy French recruitment roll. I did this by PPE as well, and I rolled a 12, so I failed there. Okay, so let's just review. I conquered Belgium, that was worth 2. I conquered France, which is 9. You don't count the, I'm having the Vichy counted separately, that's why it'd normally be 10, but 9, so that gets us up to 11. I have 2 for Poland, 13, 2 for Hungary, 15. So 15 plus 24, I'm at 39. Yep, that checks out. That's where I am on the chart. I get 3 for Sweden. That gets me up to 42. I get to collect all of Vichy income, which is 3. So that's 45. I saved 1. That's 46. I get the 10 that France had. So I have 56 with Germany. Oh, wait. I forgot one other non-combat movement that I want to do. I'm gonna move these 3 units to. Oh no. Tricky. Yes, I am going to move these 3 units into C-Zone 80 during non-combat movement. That's where I'm going to be. Yeah. Okay, now I think that's everything. Next up is Madman Dan, return 6.2, USSR.